The media has already told us that Biden demanded the firing of this prosecutor, Shokin, but there was no active investigation going on into his kid. He only wanted him fired because he was corrupt or whatever story they made up. If there was no investigation going on into his kid, then how did John Solomon get a hold of a Latvian government memo that says not only was there an investigation going on, here's the memo saying it was going on right as you demanded, Joe Biden, that the prosecutor be fired. What was Biden up to in Ukraine? Let's get to that right now. Let's go to this Washington Examiner piece first, because this is fascinating how Republican Senator Ron Johnson, I addressed this the other day, he put out a Senate letter requesting information, as we can see in the Examiner piece here. Republican senator seeks subpoena against Hunter Biden's Burisma associates by Madison Dibble. Republican Senator Ron Johnson wants some records from this company called Blue Star Strategies. Oh, Blue Star Strategies. Weren't you talking about them the other day? Oh, yeah, I'm talking about them again. But Senator Johnson wants some very specific records from Blue Star Strategies. What does Blue Star Strategies have to do with the Biden family and influence peddling, which people always hate? Well, Blue Star Strategies was a sort of lobbying firm that was hired by the company Joe Biden's kid Hunter was working on in Ukraine, Burisma, for a very lucrative deal. Very lucrative deal. What was it, $80,000 a month to sit on a board of a company he had no experience in? That company then hired this firm, Blue Star, who is in documented emails, emailing people in the United States government, mentioning Biden's name and others, and apparently trying to get meetings as they lobby them to make the investigation into Hunter Biden's company he sits on the board of Burisma disappear. These allegations are very serious. Very serious. But what's interesting about this piece in the Washington Examiner, let's check out this little screen cap from the piece. Ron Johnson, Republican senator, wants some very specific records. Remember the names. Quote, the senator added that Blue Star Strategies supplied some documentation, but key records were not turned over for the firm. Interesting. Key records from an Andrei Teleshenko. Teleshenko notified Johnson that the records requested cannot be supplied voluntarily because of non-disclosure agreements signed while he worked for the firm. Ron Johnson explained the committee would need to subpoena the documents to legally mandate that Blue Star Strategies and Teleshenko complete the full request for documentation. Now, this is fascinating. Let me give you a little background. I mean, really, this one, I woke up this morning stoked to talk about this because this story has become a bête noire for the liberal media. The liberal media are terrified of two people right now in the Democrat out. They want to discredit them at every single turn. One of them is Andrei Teleshenko, the guy you just read about, that Ron Johnson wants his records while he worked for this company, Blue Star, that was lobbying the U.S. government to allegedly make this investigation into Burisma, Hunter Biden's company, go away. The media hates Teleshenko. The liberal media. They have attacked him at every single turn. Guy's a flunky, a hack for the Trump team. You can't trust anything he says. They hate Teleshenko and they hate John Solomon of now justthenews.com. Used to be at The Hill before The Hill shamefully turned on him, their best reporter. They hate these two. Why? Because these two have all the goods on Biden's influence peddling in Ukraine. Teleshenko worked at the company paid to peddle influence, Blue Star, that was trying to influence U.S. lawmakers to make the Burisma investigation allegedly go away. Now, showing you how terrified they are of Teleshenko. He worked there. Johnson's like, we need to see those records. Teleshenko has become a target of the liberal media. So there were so many articles attacking Teleshenko. Candidly, I didn't know which one to put up. But here's an article by Yahoo News attacking Teleshenko, who apparently has all the goods on this influence peddling. He's a Ukrainian. And notice, Yahoo News, even in their shameless attack on Teleshenko, never disputes the facts of the case. What are the facts and why is Teleshenko such a threat? You just told us, Dan, it's because he was involved with this influence peddling company on behalf of Hunter Biden and Burisma. It's not just that. Remember, follow the money, ladies and gentlemen. Everybody knows each other here. Everybody's getting paid and everybody has something to lose. Yahoo News headline, Rudy Giuliani's man in Ukraine and the origins of the Biden conspiracy theory. Who are they talking about? Teleshenko. Notice the headline. It's a conspiracy theory already, although they don't dispute any of the actual facts in the case. There's nothing theoretical about what happened. So they're trying Yahoo, because Yahoo's a hack site. It's not a real journalism site. It's fake. It's a fake news site, the equivalent of the Babylon Bee. It's a satire site that masquerading as a journalism site. Why are they attacking Teleshenko, Giuliani, and the Ukraine conspiracy theory despite not disputing any of the facts? Well, obviously, like I said, Teleshenko was involved with the company using Hunter Biden's name to make an investigation into the company go away. Mm-hmm. But it's not just that. Teleshenko showed up in another anti-Trump scandal as well. Let's go to the Yahoo News piece and see where Teleshenko creeped into the radar screen too. Remember Alexandra Chalupa, the former DNC operative who left the DNC to go work on the Paul Manafort Ukraine project? Remember her name? Yeah, key Spygate player, a central figure in both of my books on this, Spygate and Exonerated, if you want to read the details. So, quote from Yahoo News, "I am working for the DNC," Chalupa purportedly told Teleshenko. No! During a meeting at a cafe in Georgetown. Quote, Chalupa, "I have this story I'm working on, Trump and Manafort. I want to look for any information. If you can find any dirt on his campaign office that you can give to me to take off the elections," Chalupa said, according to Teleshenko. Wow, that's just insane. Teleshenko's a Spygate player too with Chalupa, who may have information damaging. It goes on. Chalupa denied this account. Oh, she denied it, Joe, so it should all go away. She said it didn't happen. Chalupa denied this account, as did two others who spoke on condition of anonymity, more anonymous sources, because they were not authorized to speak to the media or feared retaliation. Hilarious. Yeah, sure. Quote, here's Chalupa herself, who tells Yahoo News, notice she doesn't deny meeting him. She says, quote, Teleshenko is someone I've never heard of until he was briefly introduced to me as a point of contact for a Ukrainian-American event I was working on. She doesn't even deny the meeting. And yet Yahoo News says Teleshenko's involved in a conspiracy theory, despite the fact that the Democrat operative Chalupa involved in the takedown of Trump through Paul Manafort and the fake black ledger they got from Ukraine. On the record, none of this is disputed. The genesis of the whole Spygate operation, the Ukrainian back channel, and Christopher Steele, those are the two main sources of information. Mm-hmm. Nobody denies anything. And yet Yahoo News has to discredit Teleshenko by calling him Rudy's man. And it's a conspiracy theory, despite the fact, Joe, that they deny none of the facts of the case. So Teleshenko may have information about this lobby firm peddling influence on behalf of Hunter Biden and his dad to make an investigation into their Burisma company go away, while dad was the point man in Ukraine where Burisma is located. Ouch. This Teleshenko sounds like he's got some info for us. Of course he has to be discredited by the liberal media then. He's just a conspiracy theorist. He's saying he met with Chalupa. No, Chalupa's saying that. There's the quote in Yahoo News. It's not Teleshenko. Teleshenko's saying it and Chalupa's confirming it. Chalupa, key Spygate figure. Key centerpiece for a massive information laundering operation from Ukraine back into the United States to spy on the Trump team. Folks, if you're not watching this show and reading Solomon's stuff and others, you're missing the whole story. The whole story. You've missed everything. The media will not touch the biggest scandal of our time. And yet the guy who's got information on both Spygate and Blue Star Strategies and influence peddling, nobody wants to talk to him but this Republican senator. Media is not even mildly concerned. No, they are concerned, Joe. They're only concerned about discrediting him, not hearing what he has to say. Now, I said to you the media is going after two people, not just Teleshenko. They're going after John Solomon as well. It's become a daily thing now. It's really disgraceful. But nobody listens to the media anymore, so it doesn't even matter. I read an interesting piece today that newspaper endorsements, I'll try to cover it on tomorrow's show from the Washington Examiner. Newspaper endorsements mean nothing anymore. It's because nobody trusts the media. So the media's done this to themselves, which is good for us because now they trust real news sources like this show and John Solomon. So John Solomon had a piece up in December 2019 talking about the other component, subsection B of this Section 3 of the Biden section, why Biden's a weak candidate. People hate influence peddling. Blue Star, Teleshenko, Spygate, but they got a bigger problem, the Bidens. This will be in the show notes. It's from December of 2019, but it is worth your time. Bongino.com/newsletter. Oh, December 17th, 2019. Headline, John Solomon reports, Latvian government says it flagged suspicious Hunter Biden payments in 2016. Okay, so now we know that there's definitely an influence peddling operation going on. This guy, Teleshenko, has information. They're discrediting him. But John Solomon exposed this stuff in December of 2019. All of a sudden, he becomes a big target. What did he expose? Well, let's go to this takeaway from the Johnny Solomon piece because, it's a good one. Apparently, Solomon found a memo from the Latvian government that they gave to him that adds to the mounting evidence there was an investigation going on surrounding Hunter Biden's company, Burisma Holdings, and Hunter Biden's compensation as a board member in the weeks just before Joe Biden, by the way, on video, forced the firing of the prosecutor overseeing the investigation. Gosh, that sounds really bad. The Latvian law enforcement memo identified a series of loan payments totaling about $16.6 million that were routed from companies in Belize and the United Kingdom to Burisma through Ukraine's Privat bank between 2012 and 2015. You mean the Privat bank that multiple press reports have discovered is under investigation for suspicious activity? That bank? Gosh, that sounds strange. He goes on. The flagged funds were partially transferred to Hunter Biden, a board member at Burisma since May of 2014, and 3 other officials working for the Ukrainian natural gas company, the Latvian memo said. Folks, why is this important? Can I just dumb this down so everybody gets it in the interest of time?
Please do, yes.
So John Solomon has an official Latvian government law enforcement memo saying we were investigating potential money laundering and suspicious payments routed through a bank under investigation, Privat bank, that wound up in the pocket of Hunter Biden. Not all of it, but a lot of it. We were investigating that in February of 2016. Why does that matter? What else happened right after that memo came out? Hey, we're looking into these payments to your son, Hunter Biden. Oh, that's when the Biden, on tape, by the way, that's when he admits to pushing out the prosecutor in that February, March 2016 timeline. So what you're telling me is Hunter Biden was under investigation by the Latvian government for his alleged role in a potential money laundering scheme through Privat bank, which was under investigation according to multiple reports themselves. And at the same time he's under investigation, Biden is on tape admitting that in that time frame, he demanded that the prosecutor looking into it be fired. Wait, that can't be, Joe. The media has already told us that Biden demanded the firing of this prosecutor, Shokin, but there was no active investigation going on into his kid. He only wanted him fired because he was corrupt or whatever story they made up. If there was no investigation going on into his kid, then how did John Solomon get a hold of a Latvian government memo that says not only was there an investigation going on, here's the memo saying it was going on right as you demanded, Joe Biden, that the prosecutor be fired.
You just heard The Dan Bongino Show. You can also get Dan's podcasts on iTunes or SoundCloud and follow Dan on Twitter 24/7 @DBongino.